And we don't get to play NC State unless we win game one, and NC State has to win their game. But we'll focus on each of the three teams, and now it's head to the office and start getting to work.
I know it's fresh, but the initial pitching philosophy that you've been using, would you expect that to continue?
We'll see. We need to look at it. A lot of it has to do with matchups, and is it a left-handed team, a right-handed team? We'll look at all those things, and we'll make the decisions we feel like give us the best chance to win each game.
Mark, you said in Hoover that obviously things weren't perfect, but how much confidence does this team have the way you guys played against some of the best teams in the nation?
Yeah, this team should have a lot of confidence because they've taken on more challenges than anybody in the country. We played 35 quad one games, which is the most in the country. We've beaten just about everybody along the way, almost everybody, and there's still some more challenges ahead. But I think we showed this past weekend, we showed the world how good we can be at our high end. We still have some things to clean up, obviously. Our defense was not great in the tournament, but everything else I thought was at a level that can get us as far as we want to go. So we'll work hard on all those things this weekend, and if we play at the level we can defensively, pitch like we did this past week, and swing the bats like we did against 5 great SEC teams in those games this weekend, look, we can do some good things.
How much do you work on the defensive end of things in practice this week, or do you just don't want to overemphasize it?
Yeah, there's a fine line there. You don't want to turn a thing into a bigger thing, but we will focus on the fundamentals. I promise you that. We will review everything that matters, and we will get the guys the reps that they need. It's a fine line, though, because we just had 5 grueling days in the heat there, and so we're going to work on it enough so as to feel like we're sharp, but we're not going to do it so much to where the guys are worn out. I was on the phone with another SEC coach that has had a lot of long runs in the SEC tournament, and he's then gone on to have great NCAA tournaments, and then sometimes where they felt like they were burnt out by the time they got to the regional. So I'm very cognizant of the fact that I want our guys to be sharp, but we don't want to work so hard over the next 3 days and forget that we just emptied the tank at the SEC tournament. So there's a fine line.
Is there an update on Gavin Cassis?
Not an update. It's not looking great, but we're going to try to exhaust all avenues and see if there's a chance. But it's not looking great at this point.
With that, Mark, how does that kind of affect the defense since he is a corner guy?
Yeah, he was our starting third baseman, so it's a blow for us. But it's got to be a next man up mentality. We're more than a one-man team. It takes all these guys to win games, and so we just have to support each other and pick each other up and find other ways to win games other than Gavin hitting a 3-run homer like it did the other day, and you just have to make the adjustments.
How do you feel about the third base situation right now with the absence of Gavin, like you said?
Well, we just need guys to play well and play to their abilities. We have guys that can play well there, but they need to do it. They need to mentally, physically be there and be at the top of their game, because we have the guys that can do it, and whoever we play over there, they'll be able to do it. It's just a matter of them doing it.
Talmadge and Lee are obviously candidates there. Are there others that could?
Yeah, Tyler Causey will get a lot of work there this week. He's an infielder with a lot of power. He's played first, second, third. He's played all those positions, so he'll get a lot of run there this week. And then when all is said and done, we'll make the decisions we think make the most sense.
I know it is very much different, but is your philosophy and your coach's philosophy in terms of preparation, is it the same for this week as opposed to the opening week?
For the most part. Now, again, we played 30 regular SEC season games. We played 5 games in the SEC tournament. We've played the best of the best, and now we get to go outside the SEC, play a great ACC team, and play some other teams that have earned their way into the NCAA tournament. But what it takes to win in the SEC in the manner we did, especially this past week, that preparation is the same preparation you need to get to Omaha. So that won't change.
What does it mean for your program to make another NCAA tournament?
Well, it's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to get to the NCAA tournament and give ourselves a chance to get to Omaha. And obviously that's the standard. We understand that. And you want to get hot once you get to the NCAA tournament. But our goal every year is to put ourselves exactly where we are right now, with the chance to win 3 games and then 2 games to go to Omaha. Yeah, whatever you need. I'm in no rush, so whatever you guys need.
Pitching, you threw a lot of guys over the week. Was there anyone that really kind of surprised you, stood out, that took advantage of their opportunity?
Well, Roman, I thought the other day really gave us a spark that we needed, gave us a chance to win that game. The way he pitched, he can win in the postseason. Gainey is Gainey, good is good. I thought Eli Jones has been a little bit better lately. There's a lot of guys that I think can help us win. and it's just a matter of trying to use them in the best way possible.
Do you feel better about your pitching now versus towards the end of the regular season where you didn't really know who some of these other guys that might have to step up?
Well, certainly. I mean, we pitched much better this past week. Now, there's a lot of factors that go into that. It's who you're playing, it's when you're playing, it's where you're playing them, it's how are your guys performing. But I thought our pitchers reacted and bounced back very well. As much as the ball was flying out in Hoover, I think we set an all-time record for home runs out there. The LSU games, obviously, we didn't pitch as well as we wanted, but defense had something to do with that. But in the other games, I thought we pitched pretty darn well. And if we pitch well, we're obviously scoring runs right now in a manner that can win a lot of games.
Have you heard from any coaches about the 10th inning umpire overruling of the play there against LSU? Coaches reaching out to you about your action of getting them to review that?
No.
So a follow-up on that, just for clarification purposes. Yeah. When you got the umpires together, obviously one of the crew saw the violation.
Correct.
So my question is, are they not allowed to make that call during live action, or they have to wait to confer to make the change? In other words, if an umpire saw, the third base umpire saw it, he can step up and make the call? That's
a good question for the head of the umpires, Phil. Why they didn't step in at that point, why it took us asking for that review. It's a good question. I don't have your answer.
I'll get Mr. Gall on the phone.
Tape back, with the defensive errors and stuff. Was there any thing that kind of stood out for why it happened, that many errors?
Look, sometimes it just happens. Sometimes you hit great, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you play great defense, sometimes you just get in a little bit of a rut. It's what it is, and our guys will come out ready to go. Again, we fielded 979, which is as good as we've ever done in this program in the SEC. So sometimes it just happens.